Welcome to WNL Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. Coming up, we'll be joined in the studio by men's track and field coach Brandon Yule, wrestler Zach Bylykbashi, and men's basketball player Roy McMillan. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington Indley Athletics. Wrestling won 2 out of 3 Centennial matches to cap the regular season schedule, defeating Johns Hopkins and the Merchant Marine Academy while falling to Stevens. Men's and women's swimming also finished the regular season on a high note, scoring dual meet victories at St. Mary's. Men's basketball picked up a key 75-59 ODAC win over Virginia Wesleyan, while women's hoops fell 64-51 on the road to first place Guilford. And in the Camel City Invitational at the JDL Fast Track, men's track and field posted 2 top 10 finishes and 4 personal bests, while the women's team placed 3 athletes in the top 20 in distance events. Here with me now is men's track and field coach Brandon Yule. Brandon, welcome back to the show.
Glad to be here.
With the ODAC Indoor Championship fastly approaching, give us a progress report on the Generals indoor campaign.
Well, we're doing real well so far. We're staying healthy for the most part. We had a little bit of the flu go through the team, but we're kind of getting through that at this point. Different events are contributing well. It's kind of a piecemeal because last weekend our distance runners ran and they did well, but before that it was mainly just the sprinters, hurdlers, and jumpers and throwers. So we're bringing it together here this weekend with most of the team competing in a scored event, and then 2 weeks from this weekend we have a conference championship. We're in a good position though.
Your program has won 3 out of the last 4 ODAC titles up for grabs over the past 2 years, not to mention the fact that WNL now has a 4-year winning streak in cross country. How can your team build off of the program's success over the past few years?
Well, definitely having that success, it kind of breeds success, over the years. And cross country seems to set the tone every year with 4 straight. So then that momentum carries into our indoor season, and then obviously the last 2 years, we've won indoor and we've carried into outdoor. But there's just a certain culture. The leaders within the team now, they know the expectations. They know what it takes, day after day, the work it takes in the off season, which really for us isn't much of an off season, but just the mentality of what it takes and the consistency that it takes to be successful is there now more than it's ever been.
What are the team's goals over the next couple of weeks as you prep for the ODAC championship?
I would say being healthy, staying healthy, and then just consistently preparing each day with purpose, with the goal in mind that we want to obviously be conference champions in a couple weeks. And I think this weekend will be a good indicator of kind of where we're at as a team, being a rare scored event. But being healthy, being consistent in our preparation, and keep it all in perspective. And that's what I talked to the team about a lot, is keep it in perspective, enjoying what we're doing, and that it can be a grind sometimes, but we definitely want to be able to enjoy it, and I think we're in a good position for that.
What's the scouting report on the conference this year?
The usuals. Lynchburg will be better than they have been. Bridgewater will be as solid as they've ever been, and I like to think that we're going to be in position as well. There's other schools that are going to definitely have some individuals that will play a factor in the scoring, probably more so than before, at least on paper right now. But the 3 teams, as far as the team championship, I would say would be Lynchburg, Bridgewater, and us, hopefully.
Brandon, thank you for joining us. Best of luck with the rest of the year.
Thanks for having me.
I'm now joined by Zach Bylykbashi, senior wrestler from Southington, Connecticut. Zach, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
WNL had 12 dual meet victories during the regular season, the team's most since 1984-85. What has led to such a successful regular season for the team?
I think the biggest thing that's led to our success has been built up over the last 4 years that I've been here. Coach Shearer has really done a great job of building a great culture through recruiting and then the team environment. So I think that that's grown and progressed, and having individual success and growing that team success has also gotten us more recruits who have come in right away and stepped in and done a great job of competing. So the team has grown through coach's plan, basically, of laying out this is what we want to do here, and this is what we want these people here, and everything is just coming to place. And the leaders have done a great job of also communicating that environment and culture to the freshmen so that they got the message right away when they came in, and it's been a big success.
I want to talk a little bit more about that transformation from individuals like yourself having success into team success this year. What has it been like for you to be a part of that progression during your time on campus?
It's been awesome. Individual success is nice, but to have it complemented with the team success is just that much more special. I remember my freshman year here, we had 4 or 5 guys in the lineup, and we're 0-8 in the conference dual season. And that was a very hard thing to navigate through mentally when it really became individualized. But now to have the team stakes on the line and have all this team success and other guys having all this great success, it's really just built up our, like I said earlier, our team culture and just having this winning mindset and wanting to do well, not just for yourself, but also for the team. So, and it's also grown for us on campus as well. I think that people are starting to recognize that WNL wrestling is becoming a big thing. We're now in the national rankings, which has been awesome and something I didn't really imagine my freshman year we'd have. So it's kind of cool to finally have that status on campus as well as nationally in the wrestling community and just for ourselves as well.
Among other accomplishments, you've qualified for the NCAA championship twice during your career. What kind of lessons have you learned from those experiences, especially things that you could maybe pass on to some of your younger teammates as they get ready for the postseason?
Yeah, the lessons I've learned from those experiences is that all that really matters at the end of the day is what you do at the regional tournament and then what you do at the national tournament. It's easy to get caught up during the year and the rankings and where you're at and who you're wrestling, but if you don't, you can go undefeated and pin everyone in the country, but if you go take fourth at the regional tournament, you're not even making it to the national tournament. So really it's about getting your body and mind ready for February 23rd and the March 8th, March 9th at the national tournament, because those are the two big ones that count. And then once we get there, it's about just taking it one at a time and being ready to go. It's easy to look far ahead and look at who you have, because those are the things that you want to achieve, and those are, those matches, those are what you're thinking about all year long. But if you start thinking ahead, that's easy to get caught up in, and then you end up dropping a match early. So you just got to stay focused on one match at a time, getting the job done, and remember that this is what you've worked and trained for all year. So just having trust in that and confidence in where you can be come that time.
What are the Generals' expectations for the Centennial Conference meet this weekend?
Our expectations are to go out there and just keep wrestling the way we've been wrestling. Staying in the center of the mat, being aggressive, physical, and taking it to guys. There's no reason to deviate from that plan that we've had success with all year. And I think that if we follow that plan and everyone shows up to wrestle, there's no reason we can't end the day on top as conference champs. It'll really be us and Stevens and the dual meet schedule. We did a good job of kind of taking it to a lot of those teams, even with a little banged up lineup. But it'll at the end of the day, I think it'll be us and Stevens, and it's going to come down to who wants it more and who shows up more that day. So we just got to do a good job of getting there and just doing what we've been doing all year long.
Zach, thanks for joining us. Best of luck at the conference meet this weekend.
Thank you for having me.
With me in the studio is Roy McMillan, senior basketball player from Raleigh, North Carolina. Roy, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
The Generals struggled a bit at the end of January, but you got a great win against Virginia Wesleyan at home on Saturday. What led to such a good performance against the Marlins?
It was definitely our defense and our rebounding effort. Valwez was a team that beat us earlier in the year. And when you look at how they beat us, they got 21 offensive rebounds that game. So we knew we were going to have to come in, play a lot tougher. We put an emphasis on that in practice and our defense, and both those things carried over to the game.
Over the past two seasons, WNL has put up some impressive numbers on offense, but as you said, it was defense that won you the game against Virginia Wesleyan. How does the team approach things on that end of the floor?
We trust that we got a lot of guys who are versatile defenders, can guard a lot of positions. And we got two players, one Mark Lamondola, a freshman on the team. He's a great on-ball defender. And Curtis Mitchell, sophomore, down low. We've kind of tried to funnel everything towards him, and he blocks a lot of shots for us. And they both kind of spearhead our defense.
You were the third leading scorer on the team last season. You're currently third in the conference, averaging over 18 points a game this year. How have you adapted to maybe a little bit of a different role as such a big offensive weapon?
Yeah, well, as a senior, you're naturally going to get a little more responsibility, but you're also going to be more comfortable with that, I think, just because you've been in the program for 3 years already. And our team is really well balanced, so they take a lot of pressure off me. We've got shooters like Will Brueggemann, Kevin Dinnan, and Devin Kearns does a good job of really pushing the pace and finding teammates. So it helps that we got guys like that.
The regular season is winding down. The ODAC tournament is approaching now. What are the keys to playing your best basketball over the next few weeks?
I think it's that we don't get complacent, especially after wins like we had on Saturday. We know we're going to have to come in every game and play hard to win. But also it's just embracing the moment, enjoying the last few games that we have left with each other, and not taking any second of it for granted.
Roy, thank you again for being here. Good luck with the rest of the year.
Thank you for having me.
Here's a look at the upcoming weekend. On Friday, track and field will take part in VMI's Winter Relays. Saturday brings the first of the Winter Conference Championships as the wrestling team heads to Kings Point, New York for the Centennial Meet. 2 spring teams begin their seasons on Saturday. Baseball visits Averett for a doubleheader, and the 12th ranked men's lacrosse team hits the road to face number 7 York. Men's basketball plays host to Ferrum, while track and field will compete at the Noke Elite Meet in Salem. And on Sunday, riding starts its spring schedule at Randolph, and baseball takes on Averett at Captain Dick Smith Field. For WNL Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.